From being born into a frozen tent with no food and a tribe that wants you dead, to conquering half the world just to die alone, buried in secret by people who probably hated you. You're about to discover why being Genghis Khan really sucked. But fair warning, this is satire. It's built on real history, yeah, but dripping with dark humor, irony, and more than a little blood. You're born in a flimsy tent on the harsh steppe, with freezing winds and no toys or warm bed, learning too soon that life is cold and uncomfortable. When you're still a child, enemies poison your father, so you grow up without his guidance or protection, feeling abandoned and deeply sad even as a kid. Your whole family is kicked out of the tribe, losing your home, food, and friends, and from that moment on, you learn what it means to be truly alone. At just 7 years old, you must hunt animals to feed your family because there's no food left and no grown-up stepping in to help you survive. Your tribe mocks you for being from the wrong class, and people treat you as if you don't belong, teaching you early that being different is dangerous. You watch your mother stealing scraps or begging for food to feed you, and you feel helpless as she risks everything just to keep you alive. In brutal winter cold, you walk barefoot on frozen earth, toes stiff and hurting, learning fear and pain before you even know how to talk properly. After so much hardship, you grow to distrust everyone because you realize that trusting people can cost you everything and leave you alone again. As a teenager, you vow revenge on those who hurt or rejected your family, believing that violence and fear might finally give you safety or justice. You promise yourself you'll become so powerful that no one will ever ignore or hurt you again, even if it means hurting others to get there, and that sucks. And if you don't want to end up like Genghis, feared by millions and remembered as a myth instead of a man, then go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and smash that notification bell like it's the only thing keeping your legacy from disappearing into the dirt. As you unite tribes with force, you discover leadership demands violence, tough choices, and living with fear that friends can betray you at any moment. You must kill people who plot against you, even if they were once friends, teaching you that power often costs loyalty and peace of mind. When your wife Borte is kidnapped, you feel rage and desperation before you rescue her, learning that love can bring pain even before it saves. To rescue her, you kill every kidnapper, and then you carry the memories of those brutal deaths, knowing your actions haunt you even in victory. Your warriors begin to fight among themselves, leaving you to mediate betrayals and learning that even close allies can turn into competitors. You have to execute anyone who threatens your rule, including your cousins and childhood friends, teaching you that power isolates you emotionally. You march through freezing mountains and deserts to conquer lands, suffering from cold, hunger, and exhaustion that break your body and spirit. Endless days of marching push you to physical limits, making you question if all this suffering is worth the power you're earning. You order massacres across villages and cities, and even though it makes you feared, it also fills your heart with guilt and sadness at lives lost. Inside you, you struggle with the knowledge that making people fear you won't bring you friends, leaving you emotionally scarred and hollow. You impose strict laws called yasa to control your empire, but soon you realize following your own rules traps you in a web of rules you cannot escape. Your empire grows, but so does the stack of messengers and paperwork, and suddenly you feel overwhelmed, like your power has turned into a job you can't escape. You see your sons watching you and dreaming of power, making you realize your family might become your rivals one day. You attempt to be fair and kind, but realize leadership demands harsh justice, punishing people even when you don't want to. You build the Yam messenger system to stay in control, but means you have to stay alert and worried all the time, never able to rest. You meet diplomats and rulers from far lands, but you never fully trust their words, and every handshake feels like a trap waiting for you to fall. Rich kingdoms offer gifts and treaties, but they always demand something in return, which makes you realize even peace comes at a steep cost. You exile leaders and councils who disagree with you, but each banishment isolates you further, turning loyalty into worry and paranoia. Most of your time is spent traveling for war or politics, so you hardly ever see your wife and children, and your heart aches with homesickness. Despite your power, you feel lonely at gatherings as nobody truly celebrates you. People fear your anger, but no one loves the man behind the name. You name Ogdi as your heir, but deep down you worry he might not have the strength or wisdom to hold everything together. You see your son sneaking behind your back, scheming for power, and it fills you with dread that your own children might betray you someday. As they grow up, your kids compete for favor and armies, teaching you that raising heirs can be as cruel as raising enemies. OGDI drinks too much and struggles under expectations, and you feel guilty that your dream for him becomes his nightmare instead. One son, Mutukin, falls ill and dies far from home, and even a great conqueror can't save his own child from sickness and loss. You see Chagatai cross boundaries and question your commands, reminding you that blood ties don't guarantee loyalty or support. Another son, Talyui, feels torn between love for you and his own ambitions, leaving you feeling powerless to guide them all. Every decision you make for your empire weighs heavily, mixing pride and fear as you realize being the ruler is full of painful trade-offs. Your son's mistakes, rebellions, or failures echo in your mind, making you worry that history might shame everything you built. You watch alliances crumble because your sons fight over power or marriages, and you understand how fragile success really is. You lead your armies to the Caucasus, but the land fights back, cold mountains, sickness, and fear wear you all down slowly. Soldiers fall ill along the way, and you realize you can't protect everyone, teaching you that even rulers face nature's cruelty. You go hungry on long campaigns, eating whatever you can find, and the power you hold feels empty when your stomach growls. You feel helpless when sickness spreads in your camp, and the fear that your body might fail you makes every victory seem small. While you're away, factions rise in your empire, tearing each other apart, making your mind race with doubt and worry about splitting your kingdom. To raise money for war, you demand harsh taxes, and you see your people suffering. Some curse your name quietly in their hearts. You invade rich kingdoms, but those lands fight back fiercely, forcing you to use more violence and lose more men than you expected. Some letters and messages are intercepted by enemies, and you realize not all your plans are secret, making you feel unprepared and vulnerable. Generals gain fame and power alongside you, and you wonder if one day they might use that fame to turn the empire against you. People call you the god of war, but inside you feel hollow and sad, understanding that titles don't warm the emptiness in your heart. As your empire grows, you look in the mirror and see a tired older man instead of a hero, realizing legacy doesn't bring happiness. Sleepless nights plague you because you can't stop thinking about every person you killed or sacrificed. Your mind becomes your enemy. You think about Borte often and miss her warmth and laughter, but your responsibilities and wars keep you away, as if you're losing her. After conquering the Caucasus, instead of rejoicing, you feel numb and hollow because victories taste of loss, pain, and death. Arab rulers offer peace treaties, but you smell betrayal in them and don't trust any of it, leaving you more alone in diplomacy than in war. You see different religions around you, but none of them bring you comfort. You realize power can't fill spiritual emptiness or ease your mind. You become so powerful that real friendship disappears, and you long for someone who knows the man behind the armor. People bring tribute and gifts, but it feels like they're bowing to fear, not love, and you understand power isn't enough to feel valued. Coins are minted with your face, meant to honor you, but the act of writing your name cements your isolation, making old wounds sting more. You realize that people bow and fear you, but none smile or hug you. Your empire has taken away the simple joys of being human. During your campaign against Xia or Jin, you fall ill, and even the mightiest warrior feels weak under sickness, so your body betrays you. Your age catches up and fatigue sets in, and you stare at your reflection, understanding that power can't stop time or death from approaching. You worry you won't teach OGDI everything you know before you die, and that knowledge slipping away terrifies you about your empire's future. You sense whispers of rebellion from within your army, and realize even your closest allies might turn against you once you're gone. You die while on campaign in China, never seeing your homeland again, and never getting to sit down at home surrounded by loved ones. And if you've got another poor soul you'd like to see suffer on this channel, drop their name in the comments. We might roast them next. In the meantime, click on the video popping up now to find out why being that person also totally sucks.